Work harder on yourself than you do on your job. This simple rule holds more power than most people realize. Your job is important. It provides income, security, maybe even status, but it is not the source of your value. You are. The income you earn is a direct reflection of the value you bring to the marketplace, and the only way to increase that value is to grow as a person. Most people spend 8 hours a day working on their job and almost no time working on themselves. They believe that promotions, raises, and opportunities are given based on tenure or luck. In truth, those rewards are given to those who become more valuable. The key is transformation from within. Self-development is the hidden engine behind outward success. Your mindset, your skills, your habits, these are what shape your outcomes. A better version of you will always attract better results. If your income stays the same year after year, it's likely because you stayed the same. So ask yourself, what books are you reading? What skills are you learning? What new ideas are you exploring? How are you investing in your mind, your body, your spirit? These are not luxuries. They are requirements if you want success to follow you. There's a difference between being busy and being effective. You can work hard all day long and still go nowhere. But when you grow your mindset, refine your thinking, and improve your character, you become a magnet for better opportunity. The right doors begin to open because you're finally prepared to walk through them. Success doesn't just find people, it recognizes people who have prepared for it. That preparation is internal. Think of your job as the stage and you as the performer. You can't change the size of the stage, but you can improve your performance. And when your performance improves, people notice. You don't have to shout or demand attention. Growth makes you shine. People are drawn to those who are constantly evolving because growth inspires trust, confidence, and leadership. Those who work only on their job often find themselves replaced, but those who work on themselves become irreplaceable. The beauty of personal development is that it compounds. You start with reading a few pages of a good book. Then you develop better time management. Then you begin setting clearer goals. Then you build emotional resilience. And before long, you're not just better. You're unrecognizable from who you were a year ago, and the world treats you accordingly. Success, money, influence. These are all side effects of becoming someone of greater value. It all starts with the decision to shift your focus. Instead of waiting for external change, you initiate internal change. You stop blaming your job, your boss, your economy. You take responsibility. Because the moment you do, you hold the key to transformation. And with every bit of growth, the gap between where you are and where you want to be starts to close. Discipline creates results when motivation fades. Motivation is a great spark, a powerful ignition, but it doesn't last. It's fleeting, emotional, and dependent on circumstances. You watch a video, hear a speech, feel inspired, and make a promise to yourself. But then the alarm rings at 5 a.m., and suddenly that inspiration isn't enough. Discipline, on the other hand, is stable. It doesn't care how you feel, it only cares what needs to be done. Where motivation is emotional, discipline is intentional. It's the habit of showing up even when the feeling is gone. The people who achieve real, lasting success are not those who wait to feel like it. They are the ones who do it anyway. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is often not talent, background, or opportunity. It's discipline, the ability to follow through, to do what you said you would do long after the excitement of saying it is gone. Discipline builds consistency, and consistency builds momentum. You don't need to do something once in a while with great intensity. You need to do something small every day with great discipline. That's how the body is built, how businesses are built, how legacies are built. Brick by brick, day by day, through discipline. It's easy to act when everything is aligned, when you're excited, when the weather is good, when you're well, rested and praised. But what about the days when it's boring, when no one's watching, when you're tired, discouraged, or even defeated? That's when discipline becomes your greatest ally. It becomes the invisible force that carries you forward when nothing else will. It's not glamorous, but it's powerful. It's not loud, but it's undefeated. Most people don't fail because they lack ability. They fail because they lack discipline. The gym isn't hard. Going to the gym every day is. Waking up early once is easy. Doing it for 100 days in a row is what builds character. Anyone can start, very few finish. Discipline is the difference between intentions and outcomes. It makes your goals real. It turns ideas into action. It closes the gap between desire and execution. Without it, motivation becomes just another feeling that passes without impact. Discipline is freedom in disguise. It feels restrictive at first, like you're giving something up. But over time, it gives you control over your time, your choices, your results. It's the habit of doing the right thing, even when the wrong thing feels better in the moment. And that habit shapes your destiny. Every disciplined action creates a ripple, and over time, those ripples form the waves that carry you to your goals. Most people are waiting to feel ready. They're waiting for a sign, for a mood, for the perfect moment. But discipline doesn't wait. It moves, it acts, it decides. It is the quiet, daily commitment to progress that outlasts noise, distractions, and doubt. When you learn to obey discipline instead of emotion, you take control of your direction. Focus on what truly matters. Don't major in minor things. Life has a way of pulling us in all directions. There are emails to answer, messages to reply to, errands to run, notifications buzzing, tasks piling up, and before we know it, the day is gone. But just because you're busy doesn't mean you're productive. Activity is not achievement. Many people confuse movement with progress, but there's a big difference. You can spin in circles and feel exhausted, yet go nowhere. That's what happens when you spend too much time on things that don't really matter. Success requires clarity. It demands that you know what the real priorities are. The problem is that the minor things are often loud. They scream for your attention, they feel urgent, but the major things, the things that actually move your life forward, are often quiet. They don't chase you down, you have to chase them. You have to identify what those key things are and give them the time, energy, and respect they deserve. It's easy to fall into the trap of comfort. Answering emails feels productive. Organizing your desk feels like progress. But deep down, you know whether or not you're doing what really matters. Most people avoid the major things because they are hard. They require thinking, effort, and emotional risk. It's easier to stay busy than to be effective. But if you major in the minor, your results will reflect that. Small focus leads to small results. Real success demands bold clarity. You have to step back often and ask yourself, is what I'm doing right now taking me closer to my goal? If the answer is no, then you're drifting. Drifting looks like progress because you're moving, but it's without direction. Direction comes from priorities, and priorities come from purpose. When you know what matters most, you can start saying no to everything else. That's how focus is born, not by doing more, but by doing less, more intentionally. The world is full of distractions. Every day, people, apps, opinions, and obligations try to steal your focus. If you let them, they will. And they'll do it in small ways, until one day you realize you've spent months or years investing in things that didn't matter. Protect your focus like it's your most valuable asset, because it is. Energy and time are limited. Spend them where the return is highest. Excellence lives in depth, not in spread. Going deep in what matters is how you become exceptional. Scattering your attention across 100 tasks might make you feel productive, but mastery comes when you give undivided attention to the things that count. The world doesn't reward the person who does the most. It rewards the person who does what matters most, consistently and with intention. Most people don't lack time, they lack direction. They're too busy chasing distractions to realize the real work is being neglected. Focus isn't just about saying yes to your priorities. It's also about having the courage to say no to the rest. Learn to say no to good so you can say yes to great. The world is full of options, and many of them are good. Good opportunities, good people, good projects, good ideas. But the danger is that good can often become the enemy of great. It distracts you, fills your schedule, consumes your energy, and before long, you have no room left for what truly matters. Most people don't miss out on greatness because of failure. They miss it because they settled for something comfortable, something decent, something safe. They chose what was immediately available instead of what required patience, discipline, and vision. It takes maturity and clarity to walk away from something that's not bad, but growth demands that kind of courage. Just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. Not every invitation deserves your presence. Not every collaboration deserves your time. Not every project deserves your focus. When you try to do everything, you end up excelling at nothing. Spreading yourself too thin is a guaranteed way to dilute your potential. The key is to be selective, be intentional, understand what truly aligns with your long-term vision and values, and say no to everything else, even if it looks appealing on the surface. The most successful people in the world have mastered the art of selective commitment. They don't chase every opportunity, they choose the right ones. They don't try to be everything to everyone. They know their lane and stay in it. That's not arrogance, that's focus, and focus is what leads to greatness. When you say yes to too many things, you're actually saying no to the depth and mastery required for the few things that matter most. And mastery is never born from distraction. Learning to say no also means you stop living for approval. Many people say yes out of fear, fear of missing out, fear of disappointing others, fear of judgment. But living by other people's expectations will rob you of your purpose. You must get comfortable with the discomfort of saying no. You must value your time and energy enough to protect it from anything that doesn't serve your mission. It's not selfish, it's strategic. Every no to something small is a yes to something greater. There will always be pressure to be available, to be agreeable, to stay busy. But busyness is not a badge of honor. It's often a sign of poor boundaries. The person who is always available is rarely exceptional. Greatness requires periods of focus, solitude, and intentional effort. That means turning down distractions, even when they come dressed as opportunities. Your future success depends not just on what you say yes to, but what you're willing to reject along the way. To rise above average, you must act above average. That includes your choices. Your calendar should reflect your priorities, not your fears. It should be built around your goals, not other people's expectations. Every time you say no to something that doesn't move you forward, you clear the path for something that will. Surround yourself with people who elevate you. The environment you place yourself in will either push you forward or pull you back. The people you spend the most time with shape your thoughts, influence your habits, and ultimately impact your future. You cannot expect to grow if you're constantly surrounded by those who settle. You cannot expect to stay motivated if you're surrounded by negativity. Growth is not just personal, it is also environmental. You rise or fall with the standard of your circle. Many people hold on to relationships that have expired, not because those relationships are healthy, but because they are familiar. Comfort becomes the chain that keeps people trapped in mediocrity. But if you want to move forward, you have to be willing to let go of the people who no longer align with your direction. This doesn't mean you stop loving them. It means you stop letting them shape your mindset. You need to be around people who challenge you, not just comfort you. People who hold you accountable, not just agree with you. People who remind you of who you can become, not just who you've been. Excellence is contagious. So is laziness. You pick up the habits, language, and beliefs of the people you're closest to without even realizing it. That's why proximity matters. If you're the most driven person in the room, eventually your drive will fade. But if you're around people who are ahead of you, people who think bigger, aim higher, and move faster, you'll be pulled to rise. You'll be forced to level up, simply because the environment won't let you stay small. Choosing the right circle is not about arrogance, it's about alignment. It's about putting yourself in a position where growth is normal, not rare, where discipline is expected, not applauded, where success is the standard, not the exception. The right people will inspire you without even trying. Their work ethic will speak louder than their words. Their energy will challenge your excuses. Their presence will make you want to become better, not out of competition, but out of conviction. There's power in association. Who you walk with determines the direction you move in. Spend time with winners and you'll start thinking like one. Spend time with complainers and you'll adopt their mindset. It's not magic, it's exposure. You become what you're consistently exposed to. So choose wisely. You don't need a large crowd. You need a strong few, a circle that lifts you, stretches you, and speaks truth to you. Be intentional about who gets access to your time and energy. Not everyone deserves a seat at your table. Protect your space, elevate your standards, and don't be afraid to outgrow people if it means growing into the person you're meant to become. The right people won't be threatened by your growth. They'll celebrate it, support it, and sometimes even spark it. Let your circle reflect your future, not your past. Let it push you toward greatness, not pull you into comfort. Feed your mind with wisdom every day. The mind is the control center of your life. What you think determines how you act, and how you act determines what you achieve. If you're not feeding your mind intentionally, you're leaving it exposed to whatever the world decides to pour into it. And most of the world doesn't feed you truth, clarity, or strength. It feeds you fear, confusion, distraction, and limitation. That's why growth is a choice. You have to choose to input what makes you stronger, wiser, and more prepared for life's challenges. Your mind is like a garden. If you plant good seeds and nurture them, you get fruit. If you neglect it, weeds take over. The weeds are the doubts, the fears, the excuses, the limiting beliefs. They don't need to be planted. They grow on their own when you're passive. But wisdom must be pursued. It comes from reading, from listening, from learning, from reflection. It comes from books that stretch your thinking. It comes from conversations that challenge your assumptions. It comes from mentors, from stories, from silence, from discipline. Every day, you're either becoming sharper or duller, clearer or more confused, stronger or more distracted. The difference lies in what you're allowing into your mind. We live in a world filled with noise, social media, entertainment, opinions, endless scrolling. It all fights for your attention, and most of it offers nothing in return. It's mental junk food. It fills you but doesn't nourish you. That's why you must choose to feed your mind with things that build you up, not wear you down. Even a few minutes a day of focused, intentional input can begin to shift the way you see the world. And when your perspective changes, your results change. What you learn in one season of your life can transform every season after it. A single idea, a new mindset, a deeper understanding can open doors that used to seem locked. It can give you the courage to act, the patience to endure, the insight to lead. That's the power of wisdom. It doesn't just inform, it transforms. It sharpens your decisions, strengthens your confidence, and improves your conversations. It helps you become a better version of yourself so that success becomes a natural byproduct of who you are, not just what you do. Some people say they don't have time to learn, but the truth is everyone has time for what they prioritize. 5 pages of a great book a day, 10 minutes of a powerful podcast, a moment of deep thinking before bed. These small habits add up. They become part of your identity. They remind you that you are always a student, never a finished product. The person who learns every day grows every day, and the person who grows every day moves closer to their full potential. In a world where so many minds are distracted, the The mind that is focused and well fed becomes a powerful force for impact, leadership, and lasting success. Don't wish it was easier, wish you were better. Life isn't going to hand you comfort, and it won't bend itself to make your journey smoother. The challenges won't disappear just because you complain, and the obstacles won't shrink just because you wish they would. Waiting for things to get easier is one of the most dangerous forms of procrastination. The truth is, life gets easier when you get stronger. Problems don't go away, you simply develop the strength to handle them. Growth is the process of becoming the kind of person who can thrive in the storm, not someone who waits for sunny days. The temptation to blame circumstances is strong. It feels good to think that if life were just a little bit easier, if people were more supportive, if the economy were better, if the timing were perfect, then success would come, but those are illusions. The real shift happens when you turn your attention inward, when you realize that the only thing you can truly control is your own development. You stop waiting for change and you become the change. You stop asking the world to be fair and you start asking yourself to be excellent. That's when everything starts to transform. This mindset is not about being hard on yourself. It's about being honest with yourself. When you face difficulty, ask not why me, but what can I learn? When you face resistance, don't shrink, grow, learn the skill, build the strength, sharpen the focus, improve the discipline. Life will respond to your transformation. The better you become, the more equipped you are to handle what others avoid. And the more you handle, the more success starts to follow you because you've proven yourself worthy of it. This principle applies to everything. In relationships, don't wish others were easier to deal with. Become more patient, more understanding, more intentional. In your work, don't wish the tasks were simpler. Become more skilled, more creative, more valuable. In your health, don't wish results came quicker. Become more consistent, more committed, more informed. The solution is never out there, it's always within, and the beautiful part is you're not stuck. You're not limited by who you were yesterday. Every day is a new opportunity to rise, to improve, to become someone who no longer needs life to be easy because they've chosen to become capable. You build yourself in the struggle. You find your power in resistance. You gain wisdom from failure. Wishing for ease is like planting seeds and hoping weeds don't grow. But wishing to be better, that's a seed that brings a harvest. The stronger your mindset becomes, the less the size of the challenge matters. The more developed your character is, the less you fear adversity. You stop running from difficulty and start rising through it. Growth becomes your strategy. Improvement becomes your answer to every problem. You realize that you are not a victim of difficulty. You are being trained by it, and with that mindset, there is nothing that can stop your progress. Serve others and success will serve you. The path to lasting success always runs through the lives you impact along the way. It's not just about how much you earn, how high you rise, or how well you perform. It's about how much value you bring into the lives of others. When your focus shifts from self-interest to contribution, everything changes. People notice those who solve problems. People remember those who help them grow, who uplift them, who make things better. The marketplace doesn't pay for effort, it pays for value, and the highest value always comes through service. Serving others doesn't mean lowering yourself or becoming passive. It means using your strengths, your knowledge, your experience, and your presence to improve the lives of those around you. It means asking, "How can I help?" instead of "What can I get?" The most influential leaders, creators, and professionals all have this in common. They make themselves useful. They're not just chasing status or rewards, they're focused on impact, and as a result, they become indispensable. There is something magnetic about people who genuinely care. Not for show, not for applause, but because they understand that real fulfillment is found in being part of something bigger than themselves. Success built on ego is fragile. Success built on service is sustainable. When you dedicate yourself to solving problems, adding value, creating solutions, and helping others rise, success becomes a natural consequence. People want to work with you, follow you, trust you, and open doors for you, not because you demand it, but because you've earned it. In business, this principle is especially powerful. Companies that serve their customers with excellence grow. Employees who go the extra mile for their team are promoted. Entrepreneurs who obsess over client satisfaction build loyal brands. It's not just about having the best product or the perfect pitch, it's about understanding the needs of others and meeting those needs with care and consistency. If you make life better for someone else, you will never be without opportunity. Even in personal relationships, the rule holds true. When you bring value to your friendships, your partnerships, your family, you build trust and respect. You create influence not by control, but by contribution. People are drawn to those who lift burdens, who offer solutions, who bring peace instead of pressure. Serving others doesn't make you weak. It gives you strength rooted in purpose. The irony is that the more selfless you become, the more success finds its way to you. Because you're no longer obsessed with chasing recognition, you end up attracting it. You don't need to scream your worth when your results speak for you. And results come when you consistently put others first. That's where legacy begins, not in being the loudest, but in being the most useful. In a world full of people asking for something, be the one who gives. Be the one who builds. Be the one who serves. Have a vision that's bigger than your obstacles. Without vision, you'll get lost in the details of daily life. You'll be consumed by the small problems, the temporary setbacks, and the random distractions that pop up every day. But when you have a clear, powerful vision for your life, everything changes. Vision becomes the filter through which you interpret your struggles. Instead of asking why something is hard, you ask how it's helping you grow into the person you need to become to achieve your vision. You stop viewing challenges as roadblocks and start seeing them as training grounds. Vision gives you direction. It pulls you forward when motivation fades. It keeps you grounded when things around you feel unstable. It reminds you why you started when the work gets hard. When your reason is strong enough, the how will reveal itself. A strong vision doesn't eliminate difficulty. It gives difficulty meaning. That's what gives people strength. That's what keeps them moving when others quit. Without a vision, obstacles feel like reasons to stop. With a vision, obstacles feel like steps to climb. Life will test you. You will face rejection, resistance, criticism, and fatigue. There will be moments where you question whether it's all worth it. That's why vision matters. It's the picture you hold in your mind of the life you're building. It's not just a dream, it's a destination. And when that picture is vivid, it has the power to pull you through pain. You endure not because you enjoy the process, but because you've seen the outcome. That image in your mind becomes a source of strength, discipline, and resilience. Many people give up too soon, not because they lack ability, but because they lack clarity. They never decided what they really wanted, so they settle for whatever comes easy. Vision is what gives you standards. It helps you say no to distractions. It helps you stay focused in a noisy world. It becomes a reminder of who you are and what you're working toward. It keeps your energy aligned with your purpose. When you're clear on where you're going, even the hardest days have value. Every sacrifice becomes part of the story. Every delay becomes a lesson in patience. Every fall becomes a setup for a stronger comeback. A big vision stretches you. It forces you to grow, to learn, to adapt. It demands that you let go of who you used to be so you can become who you need to be. It doesn't let you settle. It doesn't let you play small. It doesn't let you shrink to fit the comfort of others. It keeps you expanding, reaching, rising, and that journey, uncomfortable as it may be, is what transforms you. When your vision is strong enough, no obstacle can outlast your commitment. Your energy stays focused. Your priorities stay aligned, your pace may slow down, but your direction stays the same. You no longer fear the storm because your eyes are fixed on the horizon. Stay humble in victory, strong in defeat. Life will give you both, moments of celebration and moments of hardship. How you respond to each defines your character. When success arrives, it's easy to believe it was all because of your own brilliance, your own strength, your own talent. But the truth is, success is rarely the result of one person's efforts alone. Behind every win are sacrifices, unseen help, and opportunities that could have easily gone another way. Humility keeps you grounded. It reminds you that growth never ends, and that the moment you think you've arrived is the moment you stop evolving. Pride is a quiet killer. It sneaks in when applause grows louder and achievements pile up. It tells you that you no longer need to learn, to listen, or to improve. It blinds you to your weaknesses and magnifies your ego, but humility does the opposite. It sharpens your awareness. It keeps you open to feedback, willing to adapt, and ready to continue growing. The people who sustain success over time are those who remember where they came from. They don't use their success to elevate themselves above others. They use it to serve more, give more, and lead more responsibly. In moments of defeat, strength isn't about pretending to be unaffected. It's about refusing to let failure define you. Everyone falls. Everyone faces disappointment. The difference is in the response. Some let failure crush them, while others use it as fuel. Strength in defeat is about resilience. It's the decision to get back up, to stay committed even when the outcome didn't go your way. It's the refusal to quit, even when the process is painful. Strength is found not in the absence of struggle, but in the ability to keep moving through it. Defeat also teaches. It reveals areas that need improvement. It strips away illusions and exposes truth. If you stay strong enough to face it, defeat becomes a better teacher than victory ever could. It humbles you in a way that growth becomes inevitable. And if you combine that strength with humility, you become unstoppable. You learn to value progress over pride. You embrace the process over the praise. You focus on the mission rather than the moment. Life has a way of balancing us. Just when we think we've figured it all out, it throws a challenge our way. And just when we feel like giving up, it offers us a breakthrough. The key is to stay level, headed through both. Celebrate your wins, but don't let them blind you. Learn from your losses, but don't let them break you. True confidence isn't loud, it's quiet. It's built through experience, grounded in humility, and strengthened by adversity. Whether you're on top or at the bottom, who you are in those moments reveals everything. The journey will test your ego and your endurance. It will give you reasons to be proud and reasons to feel pain. But if you stay humble when things go well and strong when they don't, you become the kind of person who doesn't just experience success, you sustain it. Success is attracted to growth, not noise. In a world where everyone wants to be seen, heard, and recognized, it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that being loud is the path to progress. But real success doesn't respond to volume, it responds to value. Growth is what creates value. It's what transforms your skills, deepens your thinking, sharpens your character, and expands your capacity. You don't need to constantly promote yourself when your work speaks for itself. You don't need to seek validation when your results make you undeniable. Many people waste energy trying to impress others instead of investing that same energy into becoming better. They want to look successful before they are successful. But pretending has no long-term return. Growth, on the other hand, compounds. Every day you invest in your personal development, whether it's learning a new skill, improving your habits, refining your mindset. You build something solid that no one can take from you. And that kind of internal growth becomes external results over time. There's a difference between appearance and substance. Noise is about attention, applause, and popularity. Growth is about depth, discipline, and long-term excellence. Noise fades quickly, it rises fast, then disappears even faster, but growth sticks. It creates momentum that builds slowly but steadily. You don't always see immediate rewards, but you can trust the process. People who focus on growth play the long game. They don't rush the spotlight. They trust that the spotlight will come when they're truly ready for it. Being loud can get you noticed, but only being good will keep you relevant. There are plenty of people with large followings but no foundation. When the pressure comes, they collapse because they never developed the strength to handle it. Growth prepares you for the weight of success. It shapes your mindset, teaches you patience, and makes sure that when opportunities do come, you're not only ready for them, you're worthy of them. Success isn't fooled by noise, it waits for preparation. It responds to those who do the unseen work, who improve when no one's watching, who stay consistent when applause is absent. These are the people who quietly build, refine, and evolve until one day, they're standing on a platform not because they shouted the loudest, but because they earned their place. The most powerful forces in life often work silently. Seeds grow in silence, muscles build in silence, character is shaped in silence. It's not the noise that makes you great. It's the depth of what you're becoming when no one's looking. Real confidence comes from growth. Not from pretending, not from posting, not from being the center of attention. It comes from knowing you've done the work, that you've become more valuable than you were yesterday, and that success will find you, not because you chased it loudly, but because you grew steadily. The marketplace doesn't pay for noise, it pays for mastery, and mastery is the result of quiet, consistent growth over time. You don't chase success. You become someone it follows. Success is not a destination you reach by running faster or pushing harder. It's a reflection of who you are becoming every day. The world doesn't give you what you want. It gives you what you deserve based on the person you've developed into. The more you focus on becoming the kind of person who adds value, takes responsibility, works with integrity, and acts with purpose, the more success naturally gravitates toward you. It doesn't have to be hunted down. It recognizes you when you've earned it. Most people spend their lives chasing. They chase money, titles, recognition, approval, and status. But in chasing, they often miss the bigger picture. They focus so much on the finish line that they forget the foundation. They skip the internal work, the discipline, the habits, the mindset that actually create the conditions for success to arrive. The truth is, the person you are when no one's watching is the person success pays attention to. When you become disciplined in private, you earn rewards in public. When you choose growth over comfort, consistency over convenience, and service over self-interest, you begin to stand out. Not because you're trying to, but because who you've become speaks louder than your words. This mindset shift is powerful. Instead of spending your time trying to manipulate outcomes, you invest your time shaping your character. Instead of asking, "How can I win?" you ask, "How can I grow?" Instead of trying to look successful, you commit to being excellent regardless of who sees it. That quiet confidence, built through daily discipline, starts to attract the right people, the right opportunities, and the right momentum. Success is drawn to strength, to clarity, to character. Not to noise, not to desperation, not to shortcuts. There is freedom in letting go of the chase. When you stop chasing and start building, you gain control. You stop comparing yourself to others because your focus is on your process. You stop rushing because you understand that transformation takes time. You become less reactive to setbacks because you're anchored in who you're becoming, not in what's happening around you. The pursuit changes from external to internal, and with that comes peace, power, and purpose. The person you're becoming matters more than the trophies, the applause, or the achievements. Those things will come when you've built the structure strong enough to hold them. Without that internal strength, success can become a burden. But when you become the kind of person who can carry the weight of success with grace, humility, and responsibility, you'll find that success doesn't have to be chased. It starts to follow you. It finds you prepared, steady, and grounded. It recognizes your discipline, your growth, your resilience, and it shows up not as a surprise, but as a confirmation that you've done the work. Success follows identity, and identity is shaped by what you do when no one's watching, by how you handle failure, and by what you choose to become every day.